Welcome to all of our guests here at St. Mike's today. It's good to have you. I often tell people one of the most awesome, the coolest things about being a parish priest is getting Christmas cards and birthday cards from the grade school kids and the PRE kids. Usually when a priest has his birthday, they'll make you these awesome cards like the kids. It's so cool. When I left my first parish, I had, I think, 8 file boxes full of these cards. And I remember this one day I was having a lot of, for whatever reason, stress. It was just one of those stressful days we all have. And I opened up one of these boxes and put my hand in and pulled out at random. And the second grader had made a birthday card for me that was in the shape of a big chocolate chip cookie that they had carved out of construction paper and like literally went into minute details making all the little chocolate chips on it. And so I'm sitting there reading it and I'm getting like emotional, like really choked up. And the other priest walked in and he was like, "Dude, are you crying?" And I was like, "No." Right? And he's like, "Get it together, man." Right? But I remember thinking, wow, just something so simple as a second grader making me a birthday card. That's what it took to bring me back down to reality. And as if the Lord was saying, look, take a deep breath. It's going to be fine. Drink in the moment, man. Do you know anybody in your life that's, well, negative? Somebody who's maybe a Debbie Downer that just kind of accentuates the negative in any situation, no matter how positive it is? I mean, I'm guessing you don't have to think too hard about that. We all kind of know people like that. They're kind of negative people. Why? I mean, just think about somebody you know that may have been like that. Why are they negative? Well, Father, you know, they're just always the victim in any situation. They're always the victim. They're complaining a lot. They're jealous a lot. They gossip a lot. And we all know people like this. And have you noticed that negative people tend to attract other negative people? It's like this dysfunctional language that they speak, and they reinforce each other's negativity. Okay. So let's turn that on its head, right? Okay, think about somebody you know that maybe is exceptionally happy and positive. Well, what makes them happy? What makes them positive? I mean, we all know people like this. They're just happy people. And I mean, am I right? These people that are happy, oh my heavens, people will come out of the wallpaper to be around those people. Wherever they go, people want to be around them, right? Why? Well, my opinion, one of the fingerprints of happy people is happy people find meaning in the mundane moments of life. A construction paper chocolate chip cookie birthday card. It's a lesson for me given by a second grader. Happy people find happiness in the mundane moments of life. Right in front of us. That things that a negative person would never see. It's like the salt and pepper shaker on your dining room table. We pass by it every day. We don't even notice. Well, they see the salt and pepper shaker. They see what's in front of us. Because if we're, a lot of people, as you know, they're thinking, oh, you know, as long as we gotta do this, we gotta do that, we have to move in that neighborhood, we have to look in the future. And I can promise you this, folks, here's the hard truth. Look, if you're banking on finding real happiness in the future, you're not going to find it. Sorry to be Debbie Downer. You're not. You know why? Because once you get there, there's going to be something else, and something else, and something else. And then you know what happens? We die. And we never quite find it. That's what happens. If we want to be happy, it's now. Now. Well, how do we do that? We find meaning in little silly moments of life. One of my favorite passages in Matthew's Gospel, chapter 10, Jesus says this almost like flippant thing. He says, he's talking to the apostles, and he says, quote, "Any one of you who gives a cup of cold water to one of these other people will receive 100 times more in the life to come." A cup of cold water, you receive so much more in heaven. And you can imagine the apostles are like, really? Because it's just water. So what's he saying there? He's saying the small things that you do have eternal consequences. Things you don't even think about. You know what's going to happen when you and I are dead and we get to heaven? Well, let me say this. You'll be in heaven. I'm going to be on the cleanup crew in purgatory, okay? I'm going to be pushing the push broom. When you get to heaven, okay, we will see these thousands of people that you helped in your life, that you gave the cup of cold water to. And for us now, we're like, yeah, it's a big deal. Of course I'll pick up your kid from soccer practice. Of course. No. We're going to see the ripple effects. I'm like, wow, incredible. You know, if you don't mind, I just want to share this story with you. And this may freak some people out, so forgive me. But about 22 years ago, I did a silent retreat for 8 days. Yes, I did a silent retreat. Miracles happen. So I was at a monastery in Kentucky where Thomas Merton was at. It's called Gethsemane Monastery. And so I was there, and I'm a morning guy, so I woke up early and went for a walk in the woods. And there's this beautiful, beautiful lake out in the woods. And the sun was coming up, and there was steam coming off the lake. And it was beautiful. Just amazing, and the sun, it was just incredible. So I'm standing next to this lake, and as I'm looking at this, right about here, about 2 inches from my face, I saw something moving, just right here. And I looked over, and it was one of those big spiders. It's like black and gold spider. It was about this big, maybe 3 inches. Every time I tell this story, it's like this big, right? So, and then I look over, there's another one, and another one, and I slowly step back, and I look down this lake, and on the cattails next to this lake, there's literally thousands of these black and gold, they call them garden spiders, thousands of them. And so I'm stepping back, and I'm kind of creeped out, but I'll be honest with you, it's really beautiful. It's really beautiful. I sat there for an hour just watching these spiders put their webs together because all the insects were coming off the lake, and they were basically cooking breakfast, right? So I go back in the monastery, and I said to one of the monks, "You could have told me about those spiders." He said, "Well, they're God's creatures too." I said, "I don't know about that." But, you know, it's just a silly moment. Those of you that go hunting, that go fishing, that walk, you know what I'm talking about. You have these moments in nature, you're like, wow, this is just beautiful. Beautiful, right? What are some of these moments? If we find meaning in the mundane moments of life, what are some of those moments? Well, those of you that have had children, how about the birth of your child? There's a beautiful moment. 27 years later, when that child has their child, and you're they're watching this, there's a beautiful moment. Those of you that are grandparents, you ever snuggle with your 2-year-old grandchild watching a movie you've seen 100 times? It's a beautiful moment. Making Christmas cookies with them. Having an amazing conversation with someone in the parking lot after your Zumba class. And you just get in your car and you're like, wow, that was awesome. The other day I was driving around. Beautiful, beautiful day. I had the windows down, radio blaring, listening to one of my favorite Paul Simon songs. Just a beautiful moment, simple. A tender kiss from a spouse. Honey, how are you doing? Oh, I'm fine. No. That's not what I'm asking. How are you doing in your heart? Just simple moments. There are people that will only find happiness when they have something new. And they want something new. And then 2 months later, when the newness has worn off and the new car smell goes, there's something else. And then there's something else. And then there's something else. And they're chasing after something they can't quite find because it doesn't stick. Maybe let's put it this way. Some people only find happiness in the new, but happy people find newness in the old. Some people only find happiness in the new, but really happy people, they find newness in the old. What does that mean, Father? It means really happy people, they find happiness in what is sitting in front of them and who is sitting in front of them now. Because they understand, if I'm waiting till I get to that point, there's going to be something else. No. You want to be happy, find it here, in the mess. And you know what you want to know what makes Catholics Catholic? Here's a typically Catholic thing to say. One of the things that we find beauty in is suffering. Stinks, it's horrible. I don't want this cancer, Father. I feel like we're barely holding our family together. It's just a dumpster fire on a huge proportion. It's horrible. Yes, it is. I agree. But you know what happens? When we get past it and we look back, we see that we have grown so much. I'm a happier person with more wisdom. And that is so important, folks, because when that happens to you, it is not you that benefits. It's your kids and your grandkids and your spouse. Because I can guarantee you, 25 years from now, when your grandchild is having a dumpster fire of a day, and they will call you and say, Grandma, can I talk to you for a second? Because they'll say things to you that they don't want to tell their parents. And you know what's going to happen? You're going to go back to the year 2025 and realize the dumpster fire that we went through, and you're going to have a whole treasure trove of wisdom to pull from. It starts now.